I started meeting bands just because I was such a fan of music. I remember carrying their amps and the doorman thought I was in the band and let me in for free.
I used to work in this little pub and we had a small little PA there and a tiny little mixing desk and we'd put shows on like once a week. It was just the manager who kind of was into live music and he would set it up and he knew how to plug in a few things and then one week couldn't do the shift, couldn't work the show, so they knew I was in a band and I could plug a microphone in, so I got hired.
The first tour I ever did, I was 18 years old, so it started off as guitar tech, and then that just progressed.
I did get my start in theater. That was sort of what I went into after college as well, but it wasn't really paying the bills. It seemed like a lot of work for not a lot of money. I love music, and it was more exciting to me than plays and musicals. I saw immediately that just the pace of work in music production was so much faster.
I started working in a more established kind of venue. One of the bands I was working with ended up getting signed.
I was a studio engineer for years. One day a band said, "Do you want to mix our sound live?" And here I am, almost 20 years later. There's different avenues into the position. Probably working for a local sound company would be the way to go, or maybe a nightclub.
As you show your ability to do certain things, people just ask you to do more. That management company just kept me on the books, kept getting me back for different bands, and then that became doing accounting, looking after the band, doing all that kind of thing, which slid into tour management, and it just kept expanding. That moved into festivals, and that moved into international bands, and from there it sort of just kept stepping up.
You always meet people when you're working. You're always passing out your cards. A front of house technician who toured got my information and she passed it to the right person, and then that person called me one day to go on my first tour.
Every town has small clubs that could probably need a hand, and I think you could learn a lot just by jumping in and helping out. All of a sudden, before you know it, you're the one running the show and people will call you up to cover the next shift on Tuesday.